We're taking a look at some of the movements out of pattern KWANG GAE, so our first degree pattern. I wanted to look at it a little bit differently initially because there's lots of different interpretations of the techniques in this pattern. And to be honest, a lot of them repeat anyway, so we've already covered things like double forearms and some of the other combos. So I was going to explore the first bit as in the releasing bit from heaven handstands to close ready stance B, and of course into the upset punch. This one was introduced to me a number of years ago, and there's a place and position for almost everything. And I thought this is quite an interesting one, all right? So if you look at my movement here, you can just chill for a second, mate. My start position, my heaven handstands, fingers and thumbs, touch just about, we're looking through the center of it. We open, fast, close, slow. So my movement, I'll go fast, left foot will lift, and I'll return into a position nice and slow. From a self-defense point of view, is it a self-defense technique? It's just two ready postures, right? Well, why would the acceleration be between the two parts? This is the one that I thought would be of interest today. If Thomas is going to grab me, tell you what, go for two. If you go for two doubles, and then I'll explain that. Oh, did you see what just happened? Drop on a 45 for me. So the idea, not yet mate, is all I did was I came up through the center, almost heaven handstands, but I split, I grabbed, clipped, held, and pulled them together to crush or lock. Go again for me, mate. So I came up, out, I slowly come to this position and emphasize the clip for movement number one. Step left foot, slow motion, upset punch, turns to position, finishes on the shoulder line. Let's go again over here, mate. So if you're looking at a slightly different way to do it, double grab again, almost a wedging block-esque, but I'm going to clip it, come to the center. That was fast, wasn't it? And all I'm going to do, I mean, this is less like the pattern, but I'm holding, hitting him right through the center. Of course, it's slow, isn't it? Till it meets up with the leg line and you're good to go. Have a go with that one. That's an interesting little technique. The second part that I wanted to cover was fingertip variations actually, only because it's not been covered in our previous videos, and you will see lots of fingertip variations. If you're not sure what I'm on about, if you're looking at this pattern, then you should as a first degree. You'll have vertical fingertips, low section upset flat fingertips, you'll have high section flat fingertips, normally done in a long stance as opposed to walking stance. That's just a little bit longer, literally. Fingertips, as a general consensus, tend to hit soft tissue areas and they thrust. You'd not hit anything hard with your fingertips, unless you're crazy. Some of the pioneers breaking boards with fingertips, if you've seen the old videos. But what I was going to talk about, particularly for this one, is the fact that generally, in fact, you can do it to me, mate, to be honest. If I show you, then you can do it to me, because the height differentials are kind of suit you doing it to me a little bit better. Vertical fingertips will hit solar plexus, shoulder and throat. See, with a high section flat fingertip, it tends to push up into the throat here, or up into the philtrum and nasal area into here. Take up a walking stance for me, mate. Take up a walking stance. If you're doing a high section flat fingertip, perfect, slight bend. You can put your palm onto my chest and hook your fingers into my throat and give it a push. Push, straighten out, beautiful. That's the kind of movement for creating space. Yeah, it can be a strike where you're hitting with it, but if you do the movement again, equal and opposites on your hands for me, mate, equal and opposites, push. That's the kind of movement that I like to see. So when you're doing your patterns, as you're delivering it outwards, slow motion, push, make sure the sections are correct, the striking tools are correct, but understand that if I'm hitting soft tissue area in the different lines and positions, well, it can do an awful lot, I think, as a line to create space and practically for self-defense. Quite a useful little technique. What I'd suggest you guys do is go back to the previous patterns that do have fingertip variations, try them out, have a play with them. Any questions, do let me know.